Guten Tag guys, in today's video we'll look at full body training. My name is Alex and I'm the Boer. In last week's video we already looked at 5 different training splits and the first one of these was the full body split. And in today's video we'll look at this in a little more detail. Of course, every good training program trains the whole body. But with the full body split, even though it's not really a split, you train the full body every day you train. Of course, it's not always the full body. Some muscle groups might not get trained at some point and others might just get trained a little bit. But in general, it's considered a full body training if you train the back and front side of your upper body and your lower body. Full body training is especially a good pick for beginners and for people that don't want to go to the gym that often. Because with a full body split, the training frequency for each muscle is the same as the general training frequency. So for example, if you go to the gym 2 times a week, you will train your chest also 2 times a week. And in general, training a muscle group twice a week is better than training it 1 time or even less than 1 time a week. So if you, for example, train 2 times a week, but you only train 2 body parts a day, you might only train your chest every 20 days. And that's certainly not optimal at all. What's more is that as a beginner, you don't need much volume and you also don't need much variation. And you can make very good progress with, for example, just 1 back exercise on 1 day and a different back exercise on a different day. This way you will not just make good progress, but you will also learn the exercises quite fast because you're doing them at least once a week, and it's also easier to learn 2 exercises than to learn 8 because you just have more time for each exercise. If you liked the video this far, then tell 5 friends about it, or at least leave a like and a comment. I've been getting more and more comments and I just want to say thank you for that. If you're still untrained and your muscles are still quite weak, the compound exercises will provide a good training stimulus for almost all the muscles in your body. Of course, compound exercises always train a lot of different muscle groups, and they should be the backbone of every good training program. But if someone is already advanced, and for example, their weak point in the bench press is their chest, then the bench press alone will not be a good triceps builder for them. Something like this almost never happens in the beginning, because every muscle group is still a weak point, and therefore almost every muscle group will get a very good stimulus out of the compound exercises. Depending on how often you want to work out, you can have a different number of workouts. I would definitely recommend to do each workout at least once a week. So for example, if you just go to the gym 1 time a week, then have just 1 day. And if you go to the gym 2 times a week, you can have 1 day and do it twice, or you can also have 2 different days. And the first 2 months, when every exercise is still new, I would advise you to have fewer days. So even if you go to the gym 2 times a week, just have 1 day. This way you will learn the exercises faster. And once you're used to the first exercises, then you can introduce a different day with a few new exercises. Now we've talked about that full body training is best suited for beginners and people that just want to go to the gym 1 or 2 times a week. But what's the upper limit of full body training? Well, if you're smart about it and you know yourself, then you can do full body training 5 or even 6 times a week, just like Jeff Nippert and Eric Helms are doing. But in most cases, I would advise against that for practical reasons. It's just hard. You have to know yourself very well. You have to know how much recovery does a certain exercise take for you. And you also have to be careful not to push too hard on certain days if you have other exercises on the following day. For people that can do stuff like this in their sleep, it's a great plan, but for most of you, it's probably more trouble than what it's worth. My practical recommendation for full body training is to train no more than 3.5 times per week or every other day. And if you want to train more than 3 or 4 times a week, then maybe consider switching to an upper-lower or a push-pull split. If you have more than 1 day, then you can also pick a focus for each day. So for example, 1 day might be a little more upper body and 1 day might be a little more lower body focused. You're still training the whole body in each day, but just with a little more focus on a certain aspect. This is still called a full body training, and there will certainly be no full body police that will penalize you if you don't train every muscle group in every workout. If you just train 1 time a week, it's also okay if not every muscle has a great stimulus, because it's just hard to get so much work into 1 day. Just try to train the important movement patterns and the big muscle groups. And if, for example, your side delts are not that well trained in your trainings program, that's no problem. Just try to make sure to always include the big movement patterns, such as a push, a pull, a hip hinge, and a squatting type of movement. And if you have more days, you can also think about adding a horizontal and a vertical, push and pull, maybe different kinds of hip hinges and squats, and also some isolation exercises. That's all for today's video. As always, I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please leave me a like, subscribe. Also write some comments, it helps the algorithm. You're also very welcome to leave me some criticism down in the comments below. This was Fahad, thanks for watching.